Hello babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Isha if you're new here, and if you are new here, I'll be sticking around, subscribe for more videos from me. If you want to follow me on all my social media, they are always linked down below so you can be logged in. And let's jump into this book video. I'm going to be recommending some of my favorite YA books. I love YA books. I just love everything about them. I love the fluff, I love the angst, I love the coming of age, I love the self-development that YA books have. Sometimes I just don't want any spice, so I lean towards more YA books when I don't want any spice. I don't have a specific order for any of these. Some of the ones with the same authors I'm going to include together. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite books of all time in the history of time. I'll never get over this book. I'll never stop ranting about this book. I will never not recommend this book. Better than the movie. This book right here is absolutely fantastic. This is a enemies to lovers neighbor romance. So this is following Liz and Wes. Liz and Wes, they live right next door to each other. They also grew up together. Liz is our romance lover stan. She is queen of romances. I love her so much. So Liz and Wes have been going on this prank war back and forth. Wes literally is the book boyfriend of all book boyfriends. I might be over dramatic right now, but like I love Wes. But Liz old childhood crush Michael comes back into town and she wants him to be her man. She figures out that Wes and Michael are about being friends, and that is her end. She asks Wes to help her get Michael to notice her so that he could be her prom date. Her and Wes are hanging out all the time. They're like coming up with plans to get her in Michael's sights and blah blah blah. Whole time my boy Wes is in love with the girl. Okay, look, I read this book probably 6 out of 5 stars. Like I absolutely, the do-over. This book is super cute. It's following Emmy and Josh stuck in like a time war. I don't know if that's how you say it, but she gets stuck in time on Valentine's Day. Every single Valentine's Day, her and Nick are always meeting on Valentine's Day. She's in high school, they are lab partners, and then they end up spending time together more and more each Valentine's Day. So all the parts are cute, and it's all funny too. Her books just have the comedy that you need. Also, she is a child of divorced parents. All her YA books I've loved. If you want to get into YA books, I recommend getting into her book. And the last one I want to recommend by her is Betting on You. Now this one is kind of longer. Betting on You is a fake dating, dislike to like. It kind of gives When Harry Met Sally vibes. It's just one of those YAs where you want to keep reading because you want to know like how their relationship and friendship is going to develop. They meet one time on a plane years ago. Her parents are recently divorced, so she's traveling back and forth to visit her parents, and his parents have been divorced. He says something like he's very cynical when it comes to love and relationships and all that. She's very like optimistic. Yeah, optimistic. I'm not saying that right. Optimistic. Y'all know what I'm trying to say about love and relationships. They end up meeting multiple times on different dates, and the last time they meet, they end up working together. Yeah, they also start fake dating. Highly recommend all of them. My favorite is better than the movies. My second favorite would be The Do-Over, and then my last one would be Betting on You. Is Letters to the Lost. This one's following Juliet and Declan. Juliet writes letters to her mother, and she leaves it at her mother's grave. Declan has community service. He's a bad boy, so he ends up having to clean up the graveyard. He reads her letter. It's really an invasion of privacy. He read her letter and they wrote back to her. So they are, and the more they're writing letters to each other, the more they build a connection and understanding for each other about how they feel about like life and their situations in life and everything like that. They're both going through a lot at the same time. Okay, so the next one's about the same author, and it's following Declan's best friend. So Rev grew up in an abusive household with his father. He's adopted. He has like a happy life, a loving parent. Childhood trauma, okay? And then Emma has parents that are constantly arguing. They both escape one night to like clear their heads, and they end up meeting each other. They're both going through their own situations and bonding through that and communicating through that. They're both in high school too, so this book is based in high school. If you're wondering, so it does have like kind of a lot of angst. It has heavier topics. On a lighter note, The Naturals. I love this book. I need to read the rest of the series, but I tend to do this all the time. I read one book and I'm like, I love it, buy the rest of the books, and then like take forever to get through the series. But The Naturals is a group of kids that are extremely good at analyzing people for like the FBI. So it's like a Criminal Minds YA book. All the different kids have like a special talent to help the FBI, and Casey recently just joined the team, so all live in this house together working on a recent case that happened, and you're seeing all that happen. It also has like a love triangle in there too with with Michael and Dean and Cassie. It's really good. I'm always rooting for like the kind of mysterious bad boy, so of course I'm rooting for Dean. I loved all the characters in this book. I didn't guess before the ending, but it was really good and it was a shock to me. So if he had been with me, this is the type of YA book that you read when you want a cry. If you want to be crying your heart out at the end, this is the book for you. Okay, I literally saved this book from when I wanted to cry while reading the book, and I picked this up and I did that. I did just that. It's from Autumn's point of view, but Autumn and Finn were best friends, extremely close, and then like they had a falling out, so they stopped picking around each other. They stopped hanging around the same friend group. They were never like ever close again, really. So you can see how Autumn is in a relationship with her boyfriend and her relationship like her friends, and then you also see how she feels about the situation and how Finn is the popular boy in high school and everyone just wants to be around him. And so I recommend it, but only if you want to cry. So next one is Colorblind. This one is following, I first picked up this book, I had no idea what this book was about. Then I was like, oh, this is interesting. I'm just following Chloe and Harper, and Harper can predict the age that someone is going to die, and she ends up meeting Chloe. Chloe moves down the street from her, and her and Chloe start hanging out. But as soon as she sees a number on her forehead, she realizes that Chloe is going to die when she's 16, and Chloe is currently 16. Her and Chloe, they start hanging out, they start dating, you know, and she's trying to stop and prevent Chloe from dying. Really short read. It's based in the summer. It has a summer vibes. The next one is Once Upon a Broken Heart. This is a fantasy book. It's in a trilogy. This is the first book, and it's following the Prince of Heart, Jax, and Evangeline. I said her name right the first time. So Evangeline goes to Jack to basically stop her stepsister's wedding and her love of her life wedding. They're supposed to be marrying each other, right? She goes to Jack to stop the wedding. She doesn't want to lose anybody else in her life. She goes to Jack. Jack stops the wedding, but then she owes Jack. The whole entire book, you're watching Evangeline and Jax work together. This is also Enemies to Lovers, and this is the first book. The first book ends on the cliffhanger. You want to read the whole trilogy. This whole series overall was a 5-star read. Love this book. If you want to get into like fantasy too, this is like a good book to start. Today, Tonight, Tomorrow. A high school romance. This one's also like really quick, cute. This is also an Enemies to Lovers. Rowan and Neil. So Rowan and Neil have basically been competing for valedictorian since freshman year. They're always bickering back and forth, right? And then on the last day of high school, they have like this scavenger hunt, and at the end of the scavenger hunt, you get the prize money. Neil and Rowan end up teaming up, so they're working together to get the prize. He's literally just working with her because he wants to like spend more time with her before like the end of the year. They're working together. They're spending like all day together, all night. They're planning everything out. They're just hanging out. This is a lot of them together, and I love that about this book. So like sometimes you just want to read a romance book where like the main focus is the two characters. No side characters are really that important. Yes, they have like their own friend groups, but it's mainly just heavy on them, which I love about this. And then the second book, like the sequel to the book, just came out recently. So if you want to read that one, I highly recommend. I'm halfway through it and I'm enjoying my time so far. So the next one is In 20 Days. It's also not a romance. This one's following Hadlin and Archer. So Hadlin, read the Twitter games, read this book also. So Hadlin found out that Archer committed, and basically she gets sent 27 days in time before he decides that he's going to do what he did to stop him from doing it. So she just becomes really integrated in his life and spending time with him. It was entertaining and interesting. It had my attention the whole time, and I was literally staying up late reading this. Okay, so we have 5 more. I'm gonna try to do these a little bit faster because I've been talking for a little minute. Catch and Mate. This one's by Lee Hazelwood. I love this book. I've talked about it in my reading wrap. This is Rivals to Lovers. It's following Nolan and Mallory. So Mallory is a chess player, and she quit playing chess a long time ago. She stopped playing chess. Her friend Estine, I think that's how you say her name, convinces her to play chess again one more time at a tournament because she needed another person. Mallory decides to go. She ends up playing Nolan Sawyer. Nolan Sawyer is the #1 chess champion in the world. Mallory beats Nolan. Basically, he becomes obsessed with her, and he's like, I need to play this girl again. I need to see this girl again, and I want to know everything about her. So Mallory ends up getting this apprenticeship to play chess. This book does have some angst in it. They are spending a lot of time together, traveling together. Mallory is also bisexual, so you get to hear about her dating experience. I liked everything about it. I rated this one 5 stars. She's always taking care of people, and then he's taking care of her, and it was just really cute. My next one is Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. This one's following Quinn and Carter. Basically, Quinn loses her notebook, and her notebook is basically like her diary. Since she lost her journal, someone found her journal and started posting her journal entries online. So they're basically blackmailing her, right? Quinn and Carter were partners on a project together. Her and Carter end up teaming up together to find her journal. I loved how she came more and more herself throughout this book, how she was finding who she was out in this book. She had like some bad friends that like just weren't there for her, people to be around, and I love how like she found her person and her people. But I think I rated this 4.5 stars. I need to reread it because like it's been 2 years. The Summer of Broken Rules. This one is the perfect book to read in the summer. I literally felt like I was there with them. So this book is following Meredith. Her sister passed away, so she's going through grief. Like a year later, she's like ready to be more out there in the world again. Okay, so Meredith is in town for her cousin's wedding. While she's in town for her cousin's wedding, her cousin is basically making her wedding like one of the old like family scavenger hunts. They're having all these like super fun summer activities. They're spending a whole bunch of time together, the whole family. Like the whole event is just like a big game. They're entertainment up with Wit, and her and Wit are just spending a whole bunch of time together, especially because they're there for like, I think it's a whole week that they're there for the wedding. Her whole family was super fun too. This is just a good all around fun time. All the events, all the games, they're constantly in competition, and I also read that during the summer, so it really just heightened my whole summer experience. Okay, the next one is a love-hate thing. This one is an enemies to lovers, following Nandy and Tyson. So Nandy's parent ended up taking Tyson in after he lost both his parents. This is not like a light and fluffy YA book. He went through a lot. Nandy's family takes him in. Nandy comes from like a very rich, successful black family. Love that. Love to see that. Chef's kiss. But Nandy is kind of very, need I say uppity? She's very, yeah, she is. I can't lie. She sticks more with a stuck up crowd. I'm not saying that her family is like that, because they're not, but she kind of is like that towards Tyson. And the main reason she's like that towards Tyson is because her and Tyson used to be like best friends growing up. Then he stopped coming around there altogether. He had a very valid reason for why he stopped coming around there, but she didn't know when he ends up coming to live with them. Dare I say forbidden, because they're living in the same roof. Her parents are not going for it. I think I rated that 4.5 stars. Always give like an extra star or star and a half when the main characters are black. Okay, so the last one, Keeping 13. Keeping 13 and Bound 13 are considered YA. Those are the only two, I believe, that are considered YAs from the series. It is a series because the third one does have a little spicy scenes in there. These do have heavy topics in there, so I truly recommend reading the trigger warnings before you read these. The found family and the love that these two characters have, the love and joy that I get from reading this book. I feel so connected to these characters. I love them so much. You root for them so much. Get the comedy, get the love, the healing in Keeping 13, and the friends to lovers, but also like heavy on fan family, also slow burn. So all around it's just amazing. I literally have a tattoo for it. That's how much I love it. Like I truly love everything about this. This is like infinity stars for me. This is the second book in the series, but both books are following Joey and Shannon. Shannon ends up going to a new school, a private school, and Johnny's been at that school. On the first day of school, he throws a rugby ball because he's a rugby player and knocks her out on the field. After that, he is committed to being her friend and making sure that nothing happens to her and that she is safe and protected. He is like her protector. And he's also like extremely good at rugby, so he's like super popular. He's one of the popular boys. And my sweet shy Shannon, the quiet music lover, the whole book you just want Shannon to get her happy ending, and she does. And it just, you just root for that girl and you just love her and you fall in love with her and you fall in love with Joey. And with Johnny, I said Joey, Joey's her brother. You fall in love with Johnny. Everything about this book, and I cannot recommend it enough. I love it so much. I recommend it truly. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week in my next video. And if you have read any of these books, let me know which ones you read and which ones you love. And if you are going to read any of these books, let me know which one you're going to start with if you haven't read any of these books. I need to know. All right, bye. I hope that all made sense. I say that every time I finish a video when I'm explaining books, because like half the time I just be ranting.